Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, new developments in a licensing scandal involving optometrists in Kentucky. And the search for a missing Kentucky native and the mother of news anchor Savannah Guthrie enters its 5th day.
And in the world of weather, it is quiet now, but that changes tomorrow. Details coming up.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. An optometry licensing scandal in Kentucky is starting to pick up steam. The state board voted to reverse itself and restore its prior testing requirements. Our sister station Wave in Louisville reports the board will also suspend some doctors from performing laser surgeries. The unanimous board vote follows several statements from members saying their highest priority is to protect the public. The national testing body, NBEO, had questioned 21 optometrists in Kentucky, saying their records showed not all had passed all parts of the 3-part exam. Many of them went to the Kentucky College of Optometry at the University of Pikeville. Kentucky had waived Part 3 of the exam for several years, so some never took that portion. The Attorney General ruled in October that waiver was illegal. The board's new president, Mary Beth Morris, says they are committed to patient safety.
The Kentucky Board of Optometric Examiners remains committed to protecting the public, maintaining transparency, and ensuring a consistent and accountable licensing process moving forward.
The laser surgery prohibition is immediate. The Canadian exam will still be allowed for the rest of this year, though, which means there may be some optometrists who could still use that substitution if they have not passed the first part of the U.S. test. The state will also allow a substitute for the 3rd part of the exam, but will use one that already exists. The board also voted to change how it licenses new applicants. It will now require a full board vote instead of allowing the board executive, director, or president to give their approvals alone. We hope to have more about this tonight at 11. As of today, 91 school superintendents have endorsed Governor Andy Beshear's Pre-K for All initiative. That's about half of the state school districts. Right now, more than half of Kentucky kids are showing up to kindergarten already behind. Officials say that hurts businesses, families, and most importantly, our kids.
Over time, pre-K is projected to grow Kentucky's workforce by up to 70,000 people. And studies show that for every dollar invested in pre-K, we get $10 cycled through our economy. It's clear, Kentucky needs pre-K for all.
The governor proposed a state budget that includes funding for the Pre-K for All initiative. Right now, Kentucky lawmakers are still working on a new budget for the Commonwealth. We will have more from the governor's briefing in our next half hour. Get ready for another blast of Arctic air and a chance to put some more snow on the ground. Meteorologist Eric Dean has our first look at the forecast.
That's right, Steve. First alert weather day has been declared again for Friday. Going into Saturday morning, we'll see snow chances pick up throughout the day on Friday. That's column A. Column B is going to be Saturday, where we have that Arctic air coming in. We're talking temperatures on the high end in the 20s. This is seen right now at the London Corbin Airport. You can see a few slick spots on the sidewalk there and on the tarmac. A little bit of snow still on some of the grassy surfaces. Here's like a live pinpoint Doppler radar right now. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of snow across portions of the area. Some of this is not hitting the ground. Our next weather maker is off to the north and northwest. We'll keep the snow chances in the forecast for the day on Friday. Right now, temperatures in the 20s and 30s. We're at 23 in Wise, 28 in Hazard, 30 in Boonville. Stanton, good evening to you. You're at 27. Same story in Somerset. When you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the low to mid 20s will greet you, and we're not going to move much on the high end for tomorrow. We'll stay in the 20s, especially as we go into the morning hours, afternoon hours. We finally warm up a little bit, and we'll tell you how warm we'll go coming up in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
Looking forward to those warmer temperatures. Thank you, Eric. We continue to follow a story getting worldwide attention about the search for a missing Kentucky native. Nancy Guthrie is the mother of Today Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie. Officials believe she was taken against her will. Guthrie's family says she is in critical need of medicine. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the federal government is doing what it can to help find the 84-year-old.
The president, as you all know, spoke directly with Savannah yesterday and told her that the federal government is here to help. Any requests that are made by state and local officials in the search of Miss Guthrie will absolutely be accommodated. I spoke with the FBI directly about that today as well. And our hearts and our prayers are with Savannah and her entire family as they search for her dear mother.
The FBI announced a $50,000 reward is being offered for information leading to Nancy Guthrie being found. A Claiborne County, Tennessee family is learning to live without their 8-year-old daughter. Scarlett Hoskins died in a car crash during the severe winter weather a couple of weeks ago. Jared Austin talked with her dad.
It's a call leaving Alex Hoskins scrambling.
It was sort of a panic.
Alex, hearing his daughter Scarlett was in the car with her grandmother and younger sister when the car slid on black ice, going off the road and hitting a rock embankment.
I mean, the situation, like, it just come on so quick.
Both his daughters were taken to UT Medical Center. Scarlett didn't make it.
Once we went back in, all the machines were unhooked and stuff, you know. I knew in that moment that we had lost our little girl.
A young girl at 8 years old, described by her dad as energetic and full of life.
She didn't meet a stranger. She was an awesome kid, had the biggest imagination in the world.
Well, I'm going to fly today.
While Scarlett is gone, Alex is still helping his youngest daughter, Skyla. She got hurt in this crash, but is now back home. The thoughts of being in the car with her sister during the deadly crash still sticking with her.
She's a little iffy about that, you know, talking about how she's scared and she don't want to wreck.
What makes Alex happy during this troubling time for the family is seeing some of his daughter Scarlett and his youngest daughter Skyla.
She's gonna shine. She does have a lot of her sister in her, you know, the best parts. And I'm excited to see her grow.
In Claiborne County, Jared Austin, WVLT News.
Alex says doctors came to them saying Scarlett could help save 8 other kids with her organs. He says they did not hesitate to help, feeling that's what Scarlett would want. It was a long and trying night for an animal rescue group last night in Greenup County. Friends of Greenup Paws spent hours in a small and cold crawl space trying to bring some puppies to safety. After extensive rescue efforts got 3 out, 1 puppy is still missing. Emily Shanks and Sarah Wellman jumped into action to help the animals. After Shanks and Wellman got to the home in South Shore, they went to work in the small space.
The 2 puppies that we had to crawl under the house for were terrified. They were the ones that took the longest to catch. They didn't know we were there to try to help. Most of these animals that we get called about, they're in fight or flight mode. They just want to hide, so we just have to go where they are. And sometimes that's a crawl space.
With the temperatures below freezing, the pair worked their way through the small space to help the puppies. Doggy daycare has been a popular choice for some pet owners in recent weeks, with the cold temperatures and ice that's still lingering. Camp Bow Wow in Lexington says these conditions are just as treacherous for our pups, who are not getting as much playtime as they're used to. Mariah Congito spoke with them about the importance of indoor play.
If you are a pet owner, you know how hard it's been to take your dog out for longer than just a few minutes because of how cold it's been.
I get in cabin fever, and we offer a safe alternative to going out on a walk, you know, where it's, 11 degrees or, the ground's frozen.
The playrooms at Camp Bow Wow are full of small and big dogs who are otherwise spending a lot of time at home lounging recently.
It's kind of like a battery. It just keeps charging and charging and charging, and eventually, it may overflow.
Since the winter storm hit, you may have resorted to Google to ask something like, why is my adult dog reverting back to his puppy ways?
They have all the pent-up energy, and they need to get it out some way, and that leads to destructive type behaviors.
James Culp with Camp Bow Wow says at Doggy Daycare, they have indoor and outdoor play yards, so they never get bored.
By having an indoor space which they can retreat to, after going outside just for a few minutes and warm back up, it really leads to them draining their energy tank.
Culp says extended playtime outside can be dangerous.
Think about reaching in there and grabbing a bunch of ice for your drink or something, and it sticks to you. Well, it sticks to their paws too, right? And that can be very uncomfortable, right? And then because of that ice, we also use different ice melts to try and make it safe for us. Well, that also is directly on, their paw pads, and that can, cause issues.
Culp says because of this, make sure to wipe their paws when you bring them in.
Watch them. They'll let you know when it's time to go inside, or, what they're feeling.
This week, the groundhog saw his shadow, indicating 6 more weeks of winter. So Culp has some advice if you're thinking about doggy daycare.
Make sure that you're consistent with it, because they thrive on habit, right? And if they get used to something, it's really hard for them to change.
Mariah Conjito, WKYT.
The thick layer of ice still in many neighborhoods in Kentucky is becoming more slushy, which means some people who were waiting to clear their driveways now have a chance. But there are some risks that come with shoveling and salting. Danny Reynolds is the Assistant Director of Education for Cabell County EMS in West Virginia. He says that a fall can result in a few scrapes or potentially a serious injury.
Especially in our elderly population, falling, breaking hips and stuff like that, and then the inability of being able to get up and move after the fall. Hypothermia is a secondary injury that we have to worry about when somebody's falling like that.
When it comes to shoveling in particular, there is also a risk of straining your heart. Reynolds says the ice and snow is heavier than people think. He says if you have mobility issues, then it's best to find a family member or neighbor to help you, or even hire a professional. The Trump administration is moving forward with plans to change how tens of thousands of federal employees are classified. The administration issued a new rule today that would reclassify roughly 50,000 federal workers. It allows agencies to shift senior staffers involved in policy into a new category, making them at-will employees who are easier to fire. The administration says this will let them quickly remove staffers who perform poorly, engage in misconduct, or obstruct presidential directives. President Donald Trump announced today Japan's Prime Minister will visit the White House next month. The visit is set for March 19th. That is a bit more than a month after an election set for Sunday in Japan. It puts all 465 seats of Japan's parliament up for grabs, which could impact the Prime Minister's job too. President Trump first met the Prime Minister in October when he visited Asia. The conservatives got along well, and she nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, Chrysler is recalling more than 450,000 vehicles. We'll tell you why.
And in the world of weather, get ready for an interesting weekend. A little bit of everything, but there's a warm-up somewhere on the 10-day. Details coming up.